Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make this new old stock vintage doll into a witch. And I just want to say real quick, thank you guys so much for loving on all my Halloween crafting videos. We have gained so many new friends here on the channel, and I just want to thank every single one of you for your support, giving a like, a thumbs up, a subscribe. It all matters, and I am truly grateful. So thank you guys so much. So today I have had this doll in my stash. I have a couple of them. She's ceramic, she's articulated, she's from the 50s, and she's dead old stock. So she's never been used or had clothes applied to her or anything like that. So we are going to make her a little witch outfit. So I'm not a sewer, I'm just winging it here, okay? Just kind of basic things. This is going to be a no-sew. But we just have some felt here, and right now I'm creating the skirt or the bottom part of her dress. So I folded it in fours, and then I cut out that little corner, and that's for the waistline. And then I'm folding it back up again to make the circle. We're basically doing a circle skirt. And so this is just me trimming, kind of giving that rounded edge, and I'm just playing around with it, and now it looks more like a football than a circle, but that's okay. The idea is that when it gets wrapped around her and picked up, that it's ruffled and has like pleats in it and stuff. That'll happen naturally. So I'm just trimming off that like extra bulbous to make it not look so football shaped. So you see here when I pick it up, so when it's around her, it's going to fall like a dress. And then I have some, corners there I'm just rounding off. So the only thing I'll say about the felt, it doesn't matter what color you want to do, just make sure it's the kind of soft felt. There are different textures of felt where you have like a more stiff, almost paper-like, cardboard-like felt. You don't want that. You want movement with the felt, so you want it to be a very soft ply of felt. So now we are just taking the extra scraps from the bigger square that I was cutting the circle skirt out of, and we are making the top. So I did a big thick band that's probably like 1.5 inches thick, and that's going to go around her torso, and then the other straps are going to cross over in front of her. And this is kind of in the style of how some of the vintage dolls were dressed in their clothing. I'll put a picture up here for you guys. And then I and just cutting, these are like basically going to be cap sleeves or kind of sleeves, and you'll see it all come together. So it'll, there we go. So there's the sleeves there. That's kind of how they're going to sit. So I clipped her hair out of the way so we're not getting hot glue in it. And I cut a little, almost like a little crew neck kind of scoop out of that strap, and we're just going to hot glue it right onto her. So she's like a bisque ceramic. She's not glazed or anything. And then someone, they manufactured these and they hand painted their faces on them. And they're just so beautifully done because, that's how they did things in the 50s. So, I will try to find some of these dolls online and link them. You'd have to buy them obviously either on eBay or a reselling site that has them, Mercari or some sort of thrifting store. But you can find these. So I prefer the ceramic ones over the plastic ones just because the hot glue won't melt their body. But anyways, so we're literally winging this. I'm just wrapping fabric around her, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to cover up a lot of the seams with more felt, and if there is something that gets messed up, you can just cover it up with trim, a flower, a thing. Everything's manageable. You got to be flexible with these kinds of things, especially when you're just winging it like I am. So I'm gonna just kind of let you guys see this process here of the top, and I will catch you guys back for the circle skirt. Okay, so now that she has her top on, you can see I've crisscrossed those pieces of felt, and she's got kind of like a bodice. So I want it to kind of look like she's been wrapped in black fabric, which, by the way, this felt is from the Dollar Tree. I've had it a long time. It was a big roll of it when they used to have rolls of it. I've never seen them back again in a really long time, but here I'm just putting her hair in place. She's got these beautiful finger waves, and I'm just re-adhering them. There was already old adhesive, but over time the adhesive just stopped working and her hair fell away from her head. So I'm just reattaching it and kind of just pushing those waves kind of back up into themselves. So see on the back of her head here, you can see the old adhesive there, and it's just completely gone. It's not sticking to nothing no more. And then just to get in those little spots, I use the end of a paintbrush to kind of push her curls up where I want them. And then that way it's secure and they're not kind of flopping all over the place. We are going to make a witch hat for her too, so we want to do the hair now before we end up putting a hat on her head. It doesn't have to be perfect. She should look kind of like a, you know, a witch. They don't look pristine. We're not doing Glenda here, okay? So now I'm doing the circle skirt. So we're going to wrap this around her waist, and I'm kind of pushing the felt around to kind of mimic how I want it to look. And we're just going to keep creating these pleats around and just folding it down so that it lays. It's kind of hard to explain. You just have to kind of manipulate the felt to lay the way you want it. There's no like right or wrong here. It's just, although I'm sure the sewing crafters, if I have any sewing crafter viewers, are probably cringing at my application here, but that's okay. Crafting is about being fun, not being right. So yeah, so I just hot glue it. Once I like how it looks, I glue it in place, and trying to use very little glue, although you will see that I got a little heavy-handed on her left side there, and I will address and fix that a little later, because that's the thing working with felt, black felt. If you use too much hot glue, it really shows up a lot. So I put a chenille tie around her bottom to keep her dress out of the way, but also to kind of like form the felt and keep it down. So this is chenille yarn that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. They've had really great colors. I've got so many colors of this stuff, and I've never seen black, so I grabbed a couple of them, and we're just creating like a little dangling belt. I'm kind of going for this like Victorian witch, where, you know, they kind of would have had this little like utility belt kind of thing that was really popular, like a silver utility belt would have held like scissors and a pen, and in real Victorian times. And then I'm kind of creating that little like sachet belt, and then I used the trimmings from that to put around her neck like a choke collar, to kind of add to that like Victorian like high collared neck. So I just like to make sure I use all my scraps. From the same felt, I cut out a circle. I used this Scotch tape, or this painter's tape, as my size guide, and then it was still too big, and so I just trimmed it down a little more, made a little bit smaller of a circle. And this is going to be the bottom of her hat, or the brim of her witch's hat, and we're going to put it just a little bit off to the side, like a little cockeyed. I always do these with my hats. I don't like them being straight on. I like them being a little tilted. I don't know, I feel like it gives them more character. So we're just gluing that on, and you can see I'm kind of just crunching up the felt, because it'll kind of wrinkle a little bit. We kind of manipulate it, the same as we did with the circle skirt. And now she looks like Kate Winslet in the Titanic. With that big brimmed hat she wears in the beginning. Anyways, so now we're going to do the cone top part of her hat. And I already clearly cut way too big of a triangle here. So I had to trim quite a bit of it off. And it's still too big right there. And I'm just, we're just trial and erroring here. I'm anyways, so once I get it the right size and how I like it, we are going to glue that puppy on with hot glue, and we're going to use that same chenille trim to put around the base of her hat. And then we're going to kind of give it this little scrunch, like crinkled down so that it's not quite so tall and obnoxious, which you don't have to do this. You can leave it sticking straight up if you like. It's really your preference. I thought it was a bit tall, and I kind of like that whole like kind of where it's slumped over kind of look. So I'm going to glue the chenille down, and then we're going to use hot glue again to kind of set and crimp the cone of the hat down. I like using these little metal clips from the Dollar Tree. You can get them in a 4-pack, I believe. They have larger ones too, but I find these little ones are really great for these kind of little craft projects to hold. You've hot glued something, it just holds it in place really well. So I also got this crepe paper from Dollar Tree. Crepe paper is hard to find there lately. This is stuff I've had in my stash, unfortunately, so I apologize if it's not currently at Dollar Tree. I was just there today and I did not see any crepe paper. Originally here I was trying to make a cape for her, and then I thought, it's gonna look kind of cheesy as crepe paper. So I switched and pivoted to, this is floral wire. I just took 2 pieces and wrapped it together, and what we're going to do is use this crepe paper to make her a wand, because now she's going to be Professor McGonagall from Harry Potter. So we're giving her a wand, and the metal inside is going to allow me to add a bend and distort the wand, so it's not just a straight black stick in her hand. So I wrap that up, and then I hot glue the other end of it, seal it, and then cut off the excess, and then I'm gonna bend it and kind of manipulate it till it looks kind of like a crooked little wand, and it turned out pretty cool. I'm really happy with it. I would say that going forward I would probably Mod Podge that crepe paper just to really give it extra seal. But here I am going through some of my button stash, trying to figure out, because I want to add like a little accent to her, but I wasn't sure where. But I really like the acorn looking button, and we're going to tie that onto one of her chenille strings as like a little accent, like maybe she keeps a potion in there or something. And I really like how that turned out. It's super fun. And then we're going to glue her wand into her hand. So I'm just going to use the tiniest amount of hot glue, and then I'm going to clamp it with those same clamps I used on her hat just to hold it in place so that we get a really tight glue adherence. So now we're taking off the twist tie. You can see the dress now is laying much more flat, and we are going to address this extra glue. So you can see how we've got that glue sitting there. So I'm going to create kind of like a little side pocket. And I don't show it in the video here, but I stick a little sprig of lavender in her little pocket here, and it turns out really cute. So I just make a little pocket, and so I made sure just to glue the bottom, like U part of it, and leave the top open, and so you can stick a little something in there, a twig, a sprig of lavender like I did, and it's like her little side coin purse situation, or maybe it's her wand holster. So this is the finished product. I really love how she came out. She is available in my Etsy store. I'm going to be making another one because I do have a second doll. These are just so perfect to turn into little witch dolls, and then they look so cute in your decor. You just pop them in with your Halloween decor, and it's a great little fun piece to have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will have another video coming out on in a few days. I'm trying to do 2 a week for these Halloween crafts because I just have so many ideas and I want to get them all to you guys. So give me a like and a follow, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.